Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot mother freaking topics. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all better hit the thumbs up on this video. Y'all better hit good lip gloss is crazy. Y'all better hit the thumbs up on this video. Y'all better hit the thumbs up on this video. Hit the thumbs up. That's your free way of supporting my channel. Let's get into this new Dear Deja video. Dear Deja, I am a 26-year-old mom who has a beautiful 5-year-old daughter. I was with my daughter's dad since I was 16 years old, but as soon as baby Jay came and I saw how real life is, and unfortunately he didn't, we fell apart. We've been broken up since baby Jay was 2 years old. 6 months after we broke up, I purchased my first home and baby Jay and I leveled up. All right, girlfriend. Last summer, it became apparent that my daughter's dad fell on hard times. Two things for certain, baby Jay adores Big J, and I had enough room in my house. I had enough room to house my baby father until he gets back on his feet. I have no issues with helping that man out because if nothing else, he's given me my biggest blessing, baby J. Big J has been there. Big J has been here 13 months, and let me be clear, there has never been one moment of intimacy since we broke up back in 2021. So let me answer before you ask. No, it's not like that. I've actually been dating a man for the last 8 months who I honestly have taken a liking to, and I want to see where this relationship could go. I can tell he's starting to feel the same. I'm reaching out to you because I'm having a little bit of a hard time with how I should navigate this. One, I never gave Big J a time limit. I shared with him he can stay until he gets on his feet. I honestly enjoy having him here because he's a big help with baby J, so I can't lie. I'm a little apprehensive about now rushing his process because I'm in a new situation. Two, I have never shared with my friend that my daughter's dad actually lives with me. He knows he's here often because of him hearing him in the background when we're on the phone and knowing he is by me when he and I are out on a date. But I've never officially said my daughter dad lives with me. And to be honest, I'm apprehensive about saying it because while my new boo is nice, I don't take him for a pushover or a simp. So I honestly don't anticipate after hearing my daughter's father lives with me a warm and bubbly response or reaction to it. DJ, I care for both of these men, and I want to make the best decision for myself and baby J, so I need your advice. Send me some help, girlfriend. Sign, am I being mean if I ask him to leave? Okay. Take a sip of my little water here. Am I being mean if I ask him to leave? First of all, girl, congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I love the purchase of the new home. Congratulations on baby J. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. 26 years old, that's still young. So I'm very, very proud of you. Very happy for you. Keep doing your thing, girlfriend, right? Let's start there. Second of all, I also liked, which it sounds like you could pretty much heal your own heart because of some of the bullet points you shared at the end of your letter, which is where the space I'm gonna come from, because that's exactly true what you said. Number one on the list, you did not give Big J a time limit. Your first mistake. I love the fact that, and let me say this, why I say it's your first mistake. Because there's no future, according to you, with you and Big J romantically. And if you are not romantically involved with your daughter's father and you do plan on moving on to possibly become romantically entangled with another man, having your daughter's father live with you is not conducive to your new situation at all. So let me say that. Having your daughter father live with you is not conducive to your relationship at all. Also, I think that a little part of you benefits, like you said, from having Big J there, which is beautiful. But another part of me also feels like you're coddling. You're coddling Big J, and I do understand where you're coming from because you did say in a letter, Number one, he's giving you your baby girl. She's your biggest blessing. You have been with him since you were 16 and you're now 26, right? So even if you knew him before 16, you guys were romantic. You guys have really, really been in the depths and the throes of each other's lives for the last 10 years. And you didn't say he disrespected you, mistreated you. So it for the most part, probably was a good relationship, which is why I think you kind of feel a little obligated to coddle him, because the moment that you opened up the doors for him to come and stay with you, there should have been a time limit and things put in place so he can know how to move forward and leave the nest and fly on his own. Right? While it's a lovely thing to have a support system to be able to revert back to, and I trust me, I have it, so I love that for him. He doesn't need to constantly rely and lean on that. Right? You come back to that for support, you get what you need, you leave the nest and you fly, little birdie, you fly. But if the nest is so sweet, it's so nice, it's so comfy, and baby girl is here, and baby mama is cooking, and we got a good schedule going, and we ain't beefing, and I can watch my sports and lay back and watch my love and hip hop, why would I leave? Or why would I be in a rush to leave? Especially when, according to you, you enjoy having him here, so he's not even uncomfortable. So I think, my dear, the first steps is you need to sit down and discuss parameters surrounding him being there. And one of them being he cannot stay forever unless, wink, wink, there's still a little something in the milk for him. I mean, I don't know. But if you truly are hell-bent on moving on and, building a life or a future with someone else, you cannot have Big J right there in the throes of what you're trying to do, because him being there is going to throw a monkey wrench in your plans. I'm here to tell you. Right? So I think before you say anything to your new boo, you need to sit down and have a conversation with Big J. Now, again, from the sounds of your letter, which I love, it sounds like you guys don't have the worst relationship. It sounds like you guys can communicate. So you sit down and you be honest and you be fair. And you let him know, listen, I enjoy having you here. You're not a burden to me. Baby J loves you being here. And we have worked this out beautifully. But this is not your forever home. And because you need to find somewhere for you to stay and build your own household and situation, we need to discuss what that looks like and when it could happen, right? And I mean, you have to be realistic and factor in things that's real. Like, case in point, does he have an income? If not, how can he get one? So these are conversations that you guys have to have, because you can't just say, like, listen, okay, well, you got to leave out of here by December. Okay, bitch, but I don't even have a job and nothing saved up, right? You know what I'm saying? And that could lead him to returning right back to the nest. So you want to make sure you're attacking this situation from a very realistic standpoint, which is, number one, if you need to go, is that realistic for you within the next whatever amount of months or years or however y'all want to play it? So that means looking at his income. That means looking at, the distance from where he'll be from Baby J. That means looking at really the income, because the income is what's going to matter the most. So you have to take a look at the income and say, you know what? Is it realistic for you to go? Right? So if he has some income coming in and it's enough to suffice for him to be able to move on, then you guys calculate what that looks like. Okay, can you save up enough money by this time to do yada, yada, yada? But there has to be a time limit put on it. There has to be a time limit put on it, because if not, he's going to grow incredibly comfortable being there. You're going to grow incredibly comfortable with him being there, and your significant other is going to grow incredibly uncomfortable, and that's going to diminish after a while. And it sounds like you would like to see where that significant other and you can go. So if that's the case, you have to let go of that past situation. It's nothing wrong for being a support system for your baby father, but to a certain degree if you have moved on to a new relationship. Okay? All right, so let's start there, right? Let's realistically, you and Big J sit down and go over finances. And even if you want to help him, how some people say, well, listen, I'll give you first month's rent. You just come up with security. Like, however y'all want to do that, you decide how you support your baby father. That's pretty much on you or not. It's whatever. But you want to come up with something realistic because you also don't want for him to fall back on hard times because how he left wasn't realistic and you end up having to support him again. So I think that having that conversation and being realistic about it is what you need to do first. The second thing you need to do is stand on business. Stand on business. Unless a life or death situation prevents you from standing on business, stand on business. Do not say, do not say, oh Lord, let me drink some water. I'm gonna ice on my water. Sorry, y'all. The cube went in my mouth. Sorry. We gonna call you Lil J. Because it's Big J, Baby J, they're gonna call you Lil J. Alright. What you cannot do is say, okay, we've come up with a plan, we formulated, it should work out, and they follow every step and then turn around and tell you, okay, well, the plan was for you to be out by March 1st, 2025, and here he come talk about, I'm not ready yet, I need to June. Why are you not ready? Now, again, life be lifing. So unless he can present you with something that he had no control over, if he's not ready by March 1st and that was the agreement, you have to keep him in prayer. But if you don't stand on business, you will once again be coddling this adult and they will continue to think and believe that that's okay. And you don't want that because from the sounds of things, you're trying to move on and live your best life with your new boo. The buck stops somewhere, my dear. Okay? So, after you guys come up with a clear and concise plan, please make sure to stand on business because if not, it's no reason to even have this conversation with him. Okay? So, once again, if you're saying, listen, you have until this day, according to the plan that we made, unless it's a life or death situation that prohibited him from being prepared so that he needs to go by that date or before. Okay? Okay. Second of all, I think you need to assess your boo and decide whether it's best practice to tell him why your baby father is still there or tell him when he leaves or whatever the case may be. Now, while I don't want you to lie to your baby father, depending on who he is, you might not be able to be so forthcoming with information because of who he is, right? So if he's the type of person that just wouldn't be able to understand why your daughter's dad is staying with you and you know you can't put him out immediately at the moment, then you might need to refrain from sharing that part with him. Again, you know your boo. So you would know better than anybody here on this Dear Deidre if that's something that you should be forthcoming with and let him know, or if it's something that you should refrain from until the time is right. What I will say is don't lie. Don't lie. So if he flat out asks you, be honest. Because you do not want to start your new relationship off with you lying, because then you're breaking trust. And once you break trust from the beginning, I pray to God that you'll be able to get it back, but I highly doubt it. Most times, once trust is broken, it's never really retrieved again. And if it is, it's damn near impossible to make that happen. So, what I will say is, if your boo asks you about that, be honest. But girlfriend, wait till he asks. Depending on the type of man you got. I feel like from what you said in the letter, he might not be ready for that information. So you might have to wait until he asks as opposed to just being forthcoming and sharing. Did you do anything wrong? I won't say you did anything wrong in particular. I kind of like the idea of you being able to, be a support system for your kid's father, for your daughter's dad. And I love that. I love that. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that you don't want to put some unrealistic, you don't want to create an unrealistic situation. Meaning that, Baby J and Big J could start to look at him staying there as you guys being a family unit. And if you're not intending to be in a romantic relationship with him, then you can't live as such. Because once you get the baby used to that and him used to that, it's going to be hard to detach without you looking like the bad guy. It's also going to be very hard for somebody else to come into that situation because then they're going to look like the bad guy. It's going to look like either A, you're being mean and you don't want my dad around, man, you're being mean and you don't want me around my daughter, or it's going to look like B for the other person. You came and you messed up our family. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to cultivate that space because that will be very hard to undo. You will not be able, especially with a child, to get them to see that that's not what took place. We were all happy before this. Now he came along and now everything is messed up. You know? So you kind of want to get Big J information early on if that is the case. If it's really the case that there's no hope for you guys, then you know you don't want to keep this unrealistic situation going. Which is, if I don't plan on being with you romantically and I do want to move on, then you do have to get your own space. Unless you're also saying that I'm not ready to move on. I want us to live cohesively. I want I want baby J to be able to see me and her dad living as a family unit. So fine, feel free. Keep in mind though, if that's your choice, it's going to be damn near impossible to get into another romantic situation and expect and anticipate that person to be okay with your living situation. It's also not fair to ask. Because I don't care how much trust you have in your mate, there is always going to be a little bit of an issue, if not a lot of bit of one, with them living with the person that they co-parented a child with. I'm sorry. So you have a choice here, my dear, one or two. You can either say, one is that I like the idea of my baby father living with me and baby J seeing us living cohesively and as a family unit, so I'm allowing him to stay as long as he like. Two, I'm allowing him to stay until he gets on his feet, and until that time, I'm either A, not engaging in a romantic relationship, or I'm not engaging in one too serious, which is what it sounds like you did and I like. You said for the last, I think maybe 8 months you've been dating this person. You guys have just been friendly and getting to know each other, right? So you didn't torture your baby father out on his ass because this is nothing serious. But now, like you said, you're starting to really like him. He's starting to really like you. It's becoming a little more than, pretty much what you anticipated. Then you have to kind of make sure you're separated from your past. And not in a sense of, no, that's my baby father. We're going to always be able to co-parent together. We're just not co-parents and living in the same space. And mainly because it's not fair to your new romantic interest. It's not fair for him to, one, not be privy to the entire situation because, like I said, you would be omitting one part. Two, it would not be fair for you to ask me to allow you to live with another man but say you're my lady. Three, it also would make the new romantic interest feel like you're not over your past. And I think in these baby mother, baby father, new spouse situations, people struggle to create boundaries. I am actually in a relationship with a person who has a child, right? And for me, I am fully and 100% aware of what co-parenting looks like when it's done romantically and then when it's done with no romance involved, right? So I saw my dad co-parent with my sister's mom where there was no romance involved on either part. So it was definitely my sister's mom had no feelings for my dad. My dad had no feelings for my sister's mom. So we was all be able to be a family unit. That's what I came from. We live in an era nowadays where one of the co-parents' feelings have not fully dissolved. So sometimes it can bring issues up in, the other parent, the other co-parent's new relationship. That's where boundaries come in at. Boundaries. I don't have the issue in my relationship of having to explain to my boyfriend what that looks like for him to co-parent with his child's mother. He already knows. And that has nothing to do with me and me telling him what. No, he's strictly going off the fact that I don't have romantic feelings for her. So I'm maneuvering and navigating this situation as such. It would be hard for him to get me to believe that if he lived in her household. So, my dear, you have a choice. You have choices here. You have choices, and I get that you don't want to turn your back on your baby father. You don't want to hurt his feelings. You don't want to make it seem like you're not a supportive baby mother. No, there's ways to be that without also being a representation of what a girlfriend is, right? So it's certain things that you can do for your baby father and with your baby father as the other co-parent to your child. But then there's other things that your girlfriend and your woman and a bitch you fucking and romantically involved with should do. And if that's not your role, then you don't have to do it. And you definitely don't have to feel bad about not doing it. You know, so if your baby father needs some help until he gets on his feet, if you feel like as the other co-parent in the relationship, you want to provide him with that support, fine. But do you provide that support forever? I should hope not, because I think that's what the woman that he's romantically involved with in his life should do, unless that woman is you. So I think you should think about what boundaries look like for co-parenting situations. I think you should look at what boundaries look like for new romantic interests. I think you should think about how you want to navigate both men so you can have a positive outcome. And I think no matter what, you should do what makes you and Baby J happy. If having Big J living with you and Baby J makes you and Baby J happy, by all means. Also keep in mind, key word, it makes you happy. That may not be the same case for your new romantic interest. That's something you have to factor in. If asking Big J to start getting on a good foot and finding his own place makes you and Baby J happy, and it doesn't make Big J happy, that's what you have to do. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, like you said, let it be you and the baby that it benefits, and not I'm trying to look out for my baby father or I'm trying to make this new nigga happy. No. You have to do what's best for you, my dear, and Baby J. So, in any event, I hope I helped out. It sounded like you were pretty much on a good foot already. It was just you need a little nudge to make the best choices for you. And I know that sometimes when you're in certain situations, because you're human and a good person, it can make you feel bad. You know, like, damn, I don't want to, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. And the people that love you and care about you, they understand when you have to have some self-preservation. People get that. They may not always like it, but if they genuinely fucks with you and know you're a good person and know you normally put people before you, the one time that you choose to practice self-preservation, the people that really fucks with you, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. Whether they like it or not, they're going to get it. It's those selfish motherfuckers who only benefited or for when you put them first that are not going to get it. And those are the ones, my dear, that you need to leave behind. In any event, we can have that discussion in your Healing Heart session. Once again, my dear, thank you. I appreciate the letter. Come in for your Operation Heal 100 Heart session. Ladies and gentlemen, please go like the video. If you would like to donate, please let me know. I can give you all of my information, Cash App, Zelle, MCU, whatever you need, because my page is not yet monetized. In any event, I appreciate your support, you for tuning in, and enjoy your day.